So this is currently what the back garden situation looks like. We're gonna go take a stroll and I will show you some of the things that are going on as we approach the back here. We've got quite a mess going on right here just from my fiance changing out some of the fence posts. You can tell which ones are new. And in the back behind our fence, this isn't even our land, but it just looks so horrible. Gravel stones, all kinds of stuff back here. And we've had a lot of storms in the past few years, which have knocked down several trees with several branches. Claire, come here. Hi. Hi, beauty girl. Can you give me a sit? Can you give me a sit? Sit. On your butt. No? Not a sit. Claire? Do you want the stick? Give me sit. Hey. Leave your brother alone. He doesn't want to play with you. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Thank you. Thank you. You ready? You ready? Go get it. Get the stick. Good girl. Good girl. You get that stick. Good job. Good job, baby. There's just stuff falling down everywhere. Trees, branches, stuff half rotting, stuff that is totally dead, never gonna grow green on it again. And it's just a hot mess that does not look good from our back door, does not look good from our back deck, does not look good from our backyard, because this is the view we have behind it. And it used to be all lush greenery back here. It was beautiful. We had a small forest. And I don't know if you could see right there, but they actually cut down the forest and put up a huge 3-story apartment building right there. So we've lost most of the forest. What we did have kind of died and stuff with various storms. And now we can see the apartment buildings here, along with all this just garbage basically that needs to get cleaned up. So what I'm gonna do is see if I can find a key to our shed and grab a rake and some working gloves. And I think I'll start by, all these bricks can be put into a pile, I think. I also want to rake all behind here. As you can see, it's just a big mess. I want to gather piles of sticks. But yeah, I just want to make some kind of progress here. The hope is that I can get like a compost pile back here and plant a couple of new evergreen trees that will actually help fill in the gap here where the apartments can see into our backyard and we can see those buildings instead of all the beautiful trees we used to have here. So yeah, let's get started. Hi, beauty girl. Oh, hi, Thunder. Hi, kitty cat. Come on, you want to come in the house? Come on, kitty kitty. Oh. Yes, my good kitty. Good job. Good job. Let's go in. Come on, Bender. Come on, Mr. Kitty Cat. Good girl. Good job. Once I was ready to start the project, I had to put the dogs in the house because I'm going to keep that back gate open from our land to the abandoned property behind us. And I didn't want the dogs to get out or run away or anything like that. So I put them in the house. I opened up our shed to grab out a couple of tools, a rake, a shovel, anything I might need like that, and I get to work. The first thing that I get started doing is picking up a lot of the large branches and sticks that have fallen from the trees over the years, and I'm creating a pile a little bit further back behind the property line. You can see they're all gathered pretty close to where our fence is, and I'm going to put them quite a ways back there, and some of these sticks are huge. It took a lot of manual labor, but I'm gonna put a pile back there. The hope is that once I plant a couple things, you won't be able to see that. There's also a lot of trash back there that I need to figure out what to do with. For now, I'm just going to pull that trash into our yard and figure out what to do with it later. Right now, I just want to get this part behind the fence all cleaned up to the best of my ability, and that's gonna take a lot of work. This is definitely not a one-day project, but most of the manual labor was done on this day. Okay, so I've been going at this for about an hour now, and you might not be able to tell, but I've actually done a lot of work, and I feel like I need a little bit of a break. Still trying to figure out exactly which trees are dead, which trees still have life in them. As you can see, they're all kind of intertwined here with the mess of trees. Like, you might think that's a dead tree, but it is actually attached to a tree that is still planted in the ground and has raw bark on it. So I'm guessing that means there's still life in it, and just this giant tree that fell on top of it is making it bend all the way back down and touch the ground on the other side. I managed to get this big one. It's a little bit too big to get into the pile though. And you can see all the work I've done right here because this pile is huge. This pile goes up to my knees. Pretty tired though, and the hope is that if I can clean all of this up well enough, it's already a lot cleaner than it was when I got started. The hope is that I can plant a couple of new trees back here that are like yay high, which will be about like 4 feet tall, some evergreen trees or something that will help block this in and give us our forest view back, so that way we wouldn't even have to see the pile of decomposing wood. Those are the hopes and dreams and how things are progressing. There's a lot less down branches right here than there was when I got started, so that's awesome. I think one of my biggest concerns right now is that this huge tree that's fallen down is actually still rooted at the very bottom back there, which would not be ideal for getting this down. It'd be great if this was all just rotting wood, so that way it would easily kind of break apart and fall, which I've been able to do with some of this stuff, but not all of it. So there's also just a lot of garbage back here I need to figure out what to do with. So here you can see some rebarb attached to wood. There's several of those, and they didn't come from our fence because our fence doesn't have any rebarb in it. So that is a mystery. Lots of stuff to try to figure out what to do with. Gotta wear safety glasses when you're doing some of that kind of reckless stuff, and you might have debris falling from above and below. And this whole time I've been moving rotting wood, obviously I've been finding lots of little critters, and I've just been ignoring them for the most part because I'm trying to get the job done. But I just saw some giant worms I could not ignore. Oh my gosh, they're so big. I cannot wait to go put these in my garden. Worms are so good for the garden. I've been learning so much about gardening this year, and I'm excited to expand the garden to include this beautiful oasis that's back here. And even though it's not our land, I still want it to be beautiful. And since nobody's taking care of it and it's collecting trash from who knows where, tons of it was here when we moved in. Lots of fallen trees, all that sort of stuff. Sometimes you'll see like a rusted bicycle or something back here. Since nobody's taking care of the land, I don't mind cleaning it up, putting a few trees back here, even though it's not mine, and yes, somebody could come along and take it down if it is their land. The hope is that since we've lived here 8 years and nobody has done anything as this place falls apart, hopefully nobody will care if I plant a couple of new trees here, clean this up, make it a little bit more presentable, a little less wild. Yeah, that's the hope. So I've begun raking back here, as hopefully you can tell, compared to the non-raked part. This is looking pretty good. I would love to get some grass down in here. And I saw this big tangle of just greenery, and it kind of looks like big brush, kind of. And then I went in here and I started to rake out the stuff that I thought was dead. And this is actually, I don't know if you can tell, Do you see this tree bending over here? It's bending like that, and then there's another one bending like that. These are all trees that are so weak or had stuff fall on top of them that they're growing back down towards the ground, which is very strange. So I've got this giant pile here, like that, that in my opinion, you cannot even tell are trees. But they are. So I'm gonna get to work on trying to untangle some of this, cutting some of the weaker ones down and away, seeing what I can do to make this less of like a big mess of dead and alive things mixed together, and see if I can get it looking somewhat like trees. That would be really cool. I get to work trimming down some of the dead branches that I couldn't get just by pulling on them. Really get that tree line back that we used to have back there. All behind our property used to be forest, and it was really, really pretty and full of greenery, and now it's just like this big gnarly mess of rotting and dead fallen trees. So really wanting to change the view back there. I know the land isn't ours, but it's about more than just being able to see it from our backyard and from our home. It's also about the fact that nobody's taking care of it. It's been very neglected, and I feel the desire to leave spaces better than I found them. So that way it has some planting potential in the future to bring back some strong, healthy trees that are starting out younger to replace all of those ones that have fallen throughout the years. All right, guys, it's been 3 hours and I'm exhausted, but I'm actually gonna keep going. I need help getting this down tree out. It is dead. It's been ripped up by the roots, but we need a chainsaw or something to do that, so I'll have to wait for my fiance. Some of these trees that are down are actually still alive. So that makes it really hard to take anything down because the structure inside of the branches is so strong because the tree is still alive. So I'm not really sure how to rectify that. We've got like 2 or 3 trees down that are actually still alive. Most of the branches though have been picked up. As you can see, there's, well, hopefully you can see, there's less branches falling than there was before. I still need to pick up right around here where our fence ends. I'm gonna move the bricks from the back side of our fence to right here. I'm thinking I might use them back behind here to build a compost, like 3 sides of a compost bin maybe with the brick. And then these I cannot put in the wood pile until the rebarb is removed from them. But look at how nice this looks. Wow. I'm very impressed. This one is a dead tree completely. I took one of the big branches out that was coming out and it's just eaten alive by bugs. Everything on it is dead. So maybe this one will come out. I still need to clean up all of this facing into our yard. And then this big pile of gravel that I have no idea what to do with. But yeah, as you can see, lots of branches and stuff still to clean. Starting to be able to see where some different trees are. This one, whatever this tree is, I really like it. That foliage is absolutely beautiful. But it is falling over towards the ground. I tried to use some of the giant sticks from this pile I've been building back here as a tree support, so that way I could hopefully get this to grow upright and fix all of these trees that are coming down. But unfortunately, because everything's been rotting so long back here, all the down branches, I was not able to use that. I'll have to go to the store and get an actual tree support thing to hold this up. That way we can get its branches going upright. And all of this will hopefully grow upright like that instead of back down to the ground. This is where I'm at right now. Obviously still so much to do, but I'm really proud of myself because this pile back here, let me tell you what, this was a lot of labor. I wonder if I could show you how big it is compared to me. And even the parts where I've raked up the branches and leaves and stuff to the bottom here and all the weeds, all of that is stick down to the ground, and then I just brushed up all the leaves around it, which makes the pile seem less tall than it actually is. But I wonder if I could put the camera somewhere and show you how tall that pile is. That's a pretty big pile. That's a lot of labor for me for 3 hours. But I'm not done yet, and I'm going to keep going. When my fiance got home, he was not about that chainsaw life. He said it is not our property, not our land. We don't even know who to contact about all of those fallen trees. Basically, the risk and the labor is just too much. He wanted nothing to do with that. So for now, I'm going to have to make do with them and maybe problem solve around that in the future. I have moved all the trash from behind the property line inside of our property. I'm bagging up what I can, and my fiance actually rents a truck, fills up the back of it with all of this trash that was dumped back there, and he took it to the dump for us. So that was great, and that marks the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see how this outdoor space of ours transforms over the next year, 2 years in the future. I can't wait to see you in the next video.